Hello all and welcome to the latest Craft Mania Sunday Showcase. I'm Jamie and I am going to be your host today as I take you through another Christmas jam-packed Sunday Showcase. Now I must confess I have had a bit of stick this week for doing Christmas last week, but although I've had a bit of stick, it was our most popular Sunday Showcase by a mile. Literally double if not triple in popularity to previous showcases. So with that in mind, I've been scouring around to find you some more Christmas bargains. And this week I've got loads of stamps that are at rock bottom prices. We have also got some dies, which are going to carry on from last week's Sue Wilson Sunday Showcase. And we've also got some embossing folders as well. So you really have got an awful lot to pick from today. All of the items can be purchased individually, or of course we have a massive mega bundle for you as well today, which is just crammed full of all the bits I'm going to show you. So if you do want to save big, hold on and I'll show you that shortly. But let's show you your individuals, and then we'll look at your mega bundles, chat about how your stamps work, and then I'll show you some of my samples that I've made today. So this is the format your stamps come in. They're actually rubber stamps, so they come on a sheet already made for you. All we have to do is just cut them out and layer them onto some U-mount, and then they are good to go. One of the bonuses with rubber stamps is the level of detail you'll be getting with these, and today the incredible savings you can make with them. These by far are cheaper than clear stamps, and as I say, will give you a better, crisper impression and certainly more detail with it as well. The one you're looking at currently is code GREETING. Now we give you the codes if you wish to order via Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, over the phone, by text. You can use that code and we will know what you're on about. If you wish to order on the website, then you don't need any codes. You can just pop on, they're all on the Sunday Showcase page and on the home page for you to have a little look through and order as you wish. But don't forget, I will give you the codes just in case you do wish to order by one of their mediums. This one should be $9.99, but it's now only £3.49. Now in here you've probably already read why I've been rambling, but we've got loads of little sentiments. We've got Let It Snow, Joy and Wonder, Warm Winter Wishes, Think Snow, Happy Christmas from our family to yours. There really is an awful lot jammed in there for just £3.49. You really are getting incredible value for money. Moving on, we have another same size sheet of stamps. This time this one is called Snow. Again, should be $9.99, now only $3.49. I love these trees. These trees are just so delicate when we stamp them. So intricate, so swirly and beautiful. Not to mention the sleigh and reindeer down the bottom here. I've actually stamped out one of the sleighs just so you can have a little look at that. This is what I mean by your detail. In your picture, actually on the image, I know you can see it, but it doesn't pick up just how wonderful they are when we actually stamp them. You've got all this etched in work. They really are crisp and beautiful to work with. Not only have you got your big pictures going on this one, we've also got little sentiments as well. So we've got Deck the Halls, May you have a memorable Christmas and a prosperous new year. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, and happy Christmas to all. So even the picture sheets, you're getting quite a few sentimenty bits in there, which are great for your inserts as well, or if you want to make gift tags. There really is no end to what you can do with these stamps. Moving on, this one's so cute. I love this set. This is code Cottage. Again, $9.99, reduced to just £3.49. I love the fact they've put the candy canes together to make a little heart. If you don't wish to do that, you can, of course, just mask them and use one of them at a time. You could make up borders and different bits with them like that if you wanted to. We also have a very cute snow couple that hopefully you're going to get to see quite well here. I have used them, so you're going to get to see them stamped and coloured very much like they are on here, shortly on one of my cards. But we also have some nice little sentiments on this one. So you've got May all your Christmas dreams come true, Happy Holidays, and then the stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St Nicholas would soon be there. And we've also got Merry Christmas and happiness of holidays to you. So lots of little bits in there. And I love the little stocking as well. So many ways we could personalise that for the people we're going to give them to. Moving on, another set of stamps. Same size again, but this time a bit of a different idea. We are looking at a 3D birdhouse. Now this is one that I've actually made ready. I'm going to show you how to make these because I know a few of you may already be thinking, oh, I can't do that. That's going to be far too challenging. I promise you they're really, really easy. They come with a full list of instructions in them as well, showing you step by step what to do. but it really isn't that difficult. I'm also going to show you how I've tweaked this slightly. Because it's quite a deep birdhouse, I actually wanted to be able to use it on a card. So I'm going to show you how you can convert it to actually use it on a card as well. We also have for you a larger set of stamps. Now these are not quite, but not far off of A4 in size for your actual sheet here. On the front, the images are shown at approximately 80%, so they are a bit bigger than you're actually seeing them on here. Your larger sheets of stamps give you even more value for money. These ones should recommended retail price be at $19.99, but you can buy them for just $5.99. Now this set I love. The bells are beautiful. You're going to get to see them on a couple of my cards. The poinsettia is really lovely as well. I love the little gingerbread man and the snowman down the front here. Again, so many things we could do with them if you wish to. You really can dress them up and put them on stepper cards and easels, and loads we can do with them. And of course, once again, you're getting quite a few little sentiment bits. So you've got Happy Holidays, Peace on Earth, 'Tis the Season, Merry Christmas, and this one I love, I Still Believe. I think that's such a great sentiment and would certainly be a lovely insert stamp for you as well. Moving on, we have another one of our large format stamps. Now, to me, this stamp set is all about the Father Christmas in the middle. I just think he is amazing, and at only $5.99, I would buy this set just for him. He is, like all of them, only showing at 80% approximately. So when you actually look at him as a stamp, he is a bit bigger than you're seeing him on the front. And he's just beautiful. When we stamp him, the level of detail, even down to his eyebrows and glasses and little whiskers, he really is a stunning stamp to have in your collection. But on top of that, you're getting little verses as well. So we've got wishing you a beautiful Christmas, memories to warm your heart, now and during the coming year. Over here we've got may the simple joys of the season be yours, and he's making a list and checking it twice. We've also got the word joy, this lovely poinsettia. You can see one of them stamped out down here. I've done that already. Haven't actually turned that into anything yet, but again, it's one of them stamps you can see you could really layer if you wanted to. They've designed it in such a way that it wouldn't be difficult at all to stamp multiple of them and then layer them up if you wish to. So that was your Santa set. So again, $19.99 reduced to just $5.99. So again, a good little bargain to be had with that one. Moving on, we have the dies. Now, as I said, last week was our most popular week by a mile. So we have brought back more Sue Wilson dies for you. And again, they're at half price. And they're going to be in your mega bundle. And you're going to save even more if you purchase them in that way. But if you do wish to buy them separately, you can do. The first one we're looking at is Code Snowflake. It should be $15.99, but it's reduced to only $7.99. And in this set, you actually get 4 dies. So I've laid them out down the front here for you. Our middle one is our Snowflake one, which actually has a blade running around the inside here, but not round the outside. So if you do wish to cut it as an aperture in your card, you can do, or you can use it in conjunction with the other dies in the set to cut out frames a bit like the one I've already done here for you. So this is using that one there, your actual Snowflake one, and then using the large oval over here. This is our plain oval. We then have an extra large oval which has our pinprick points going around the edge of it as well. So if you do wish to mat them up too, you can do. We also have the words Let It Snow too, which is obviously a really nice delicate die that you can use too. And you're getting all 4 of them in your set. That's Code Snowflake for just $7.99. Moving on to your next die. This one we've called Code Star. Just because it has a star in the middle of it, you can see it probably better on here. Again, you're getting 4 dies in this one. Again, it's been a Sue Wilson die. It's got lots of options, lots of ways we can use it. We have an outside edge frame die, which of course we can cut apertures with if we want to, or mats to go under the next dies. We then have this one. Now, if you watched last week's video, if you're even luckier than that and you managed to get hold of some of the dies from last week's video, you may have seen or got the little bauble pieces which say joy and peace, where they actually emboss into the card instead of cut out. This snowflake frame is the same. So these aren't actual cutters, they're embossers. So when we use it actually on our card, we're going to get this really lovely texture put into it, this debossed effect put onto the top of our card. Now, of course, depending on the colours you do this in, you're going to get really different effects. Last week I did a really lovely one of the word ones on a piece of brown card, and it really looked like a piece of leather had been embossed and I'd used that on my card. So again, with these you could certainly play about with that if you want to. Not only do you get the outside frame and that really lovely snowflake part, we also have an oval to go in the middle, so if you do want to cut it out as a frame instead of as a solid, you can do. And we of course have the star part to go in the centre of that. So again, if you want to cut that out and make it a more delicate piece, you can do as well if you wish to. We can also use these in conjunction with other sets. So for instance, this one fits really well inside the large, extra large I should say, pierced edge from your snowflake die set we looked at a moment ago. So if you do wish to mat them up, you can do, or you can use them together. You really can do quite a lot by using them two together. Really good sets to have. They will work so well if you do get both of them. Moving on to your last die from this week's showcase. This is your tree die. So code tree. It's $8.99 reduced to $4.49. So again, another half price one for you. This time you're getting two dies. So here they are actually out of their packet, meaning that we're going to get this really lovely filigree Christmas tree. These really lovely swirl bits cut around the edge here. Again, this is a bit like the snowflake die we looked at a moment ago. It doesn't have a blade around the outside of it. So if you do wish to cut it into your card and leave it there, you can do. Or you can use your second die in your set, pop that over the top of it and cut it out actually as a freestanding item. So if you do want to keep them out as an ordinary die, you can, or you can leave them in. Of course, if you don't wish to, you can just use the outside bit to cut apertures in cards and backing plates and bits like that with it as well. So many options. I really love the way Sue Wilson and Creative Expressions really designed their dies to give you so many options of the way you can use them. There really is just endless combinations in how we can put them together and effects we can create. Moving on, we have embossing folders. So this time we're looking at slightly larger than your average embossing folder. We have two different designs to look at. Your first one at the back here is the poinsettia frame. This should be $4.99, but it's reduced to just $3.99. I know in packets they're not the easiest to pick up, but they have printed this nice black line in the background for us. So hopefully you can see that you're going to get these really nice large poinsettias in the corners, really nice swirls coming out of them with these nice little tiny bits of poinsettia added to the swirls with little leaves dotted around behind them as well. It's a really lovely embossing folder to work with. The other one, this is our second embossing folder. This one is Wintry Frame is your code for this one. Again, it was $4.99. It's now only $3.99. This one is beautiful. I don't think we're going to have this in stock for very long at all when you get to see how it looks done. It's really stunning. Again, it goes really well if you do go for the dies. If you get the die code Snowflake or die code Star, both of them having them really nice snowflakey bits on them works so well with the bits on here that are embossed. And the bit in the middle, the actual frame part, is just screaming out to have them dies put in the centre of it. You really will be able to create some lovely effects with them. Now, if you do go for the stamps, you might want to consider getting some U-mount. If you haven't heard of rubber stamps, like I showed you a little while ago, they are rubber based, just as a sheet. You may wish to use U-mount with them. I'll show you how that works shortly, but if you haven't heard of that yet, this is something you might want. U-mount comes in A5 sheets. You can purchase it from us for just one sheet for $2.99. Or we are going to run an offer this week because we know you're likely to get a lot of the sheets of stamps. You might want to get quite a bit of U-mount. Your U-mount you can also buy in a pack of 4, so that's worth £11.96. But for this week only, you can have them for just £10. So of course that makes them just £2.50 a sheet if you buy them in 4s. So do bear in mind that might be a good little add-on if you are going to be adding to your order with this one. That might be something you want. Now, as I said, this is a Sunday showcase, so of course we have a mega bundle for you. We can't have a Sunday showcase without a mega bundle, that would just be rude. And this week you have got everything I've just shown you pretty much, other than the U-mount in here. So what we have got for you is your 2 A4-ish sheets of stamps. You've then got your 4 individual sheets of stamps, both of your embossing folders, and all 3 of the dies that we've been looking at. If you was to buy these at their recommended retail price, you would pay a staggering $127.99. But this week you can have it as our mega bundle for just £45, which is just silly money, isn't it? You're saving over £80 to buy this as your mega bundle. Again, I have a feeling, I know Christmas is early, I know you might be screaming at me that you really don't want to talk about Christmas. I still think this will sell out very, very quickly. So if you do like the look of it, don't hesitate. Get it either held in store to be collected or pop on the website and order it while we've got them, because I have a feeling this is going to sell out very, very quickly indeed. With that in mind, let's show you how your stamps work, because if you are new to rubber stamps, you might be scratching your head a bit and wondering if this is something you're going to be able to do. I promise you rubber stamps are really easy to work with. It isn't a challenge at all. So let me just grab me bits from down here. This is one of the rubber stamps sheets. This is actually the snow sheet. As you can see, I've already used quite a few bits of mine. But I wanted to save you a couple of bits so I can show you how they work. So as I said, it is all joined together in one sheet. All you need to do is just cut round them. You don't have to be too precise. You don't have to be fearful that you're going to amputate Rudolph's head. It really is quite easy to cut. Just a pair of sharp scissors and you can just cut around these quite easily. You don't have to be too precise either. You don't really have to be right against the edges. It's quite nice if you leave a couple of mil around the sides, but any big bits that are coming off of them, just get rid of them. You don't need them. And you can cut your stamp roughly out like that. You're then going to take your U-mount if you decide that you want to use U-mount. This is just a brand new sheet, an A5 sheet. On one side, when we peel this off, it's sticky, a bit like double-sided tape. This is the side you want to stick your stamp to. So I'm just going to stick this on the side. This is also worth mentioning. Although your sheet stamped, your actual sheet the stamp comes on is A5 and your U-mount is A5, you're more than welcome to take the sheet of U-mount and stick it directly over the whole sheet of stamps. I tend to find that a bit wasteful. I like to be a bit more frugal. If you cut your stamps out first, you're cutting down on all of the gaps in between them, all of this bit of wasted rubber that you don't need. That's all U-mount you're going to be wasting. And on top of that, you might have the odd sentiment or the odd stamp you're really not going to use. It might not be your cup of tea, but you really like something else in the set. So instead of using the whole sheet, cut out your items, stick them on your mount, and then you're going to use a lot less of it. Once you've stuck your stamp on, just again cut round the side of it. Now this is quite important that you don't cut under your stamp. You want to cut it so it has at least to the edge of it. If you cut underneath the stamp, then it's not going to have the side and the support when you stamp it. So it's going to be a little less crisp an impression. So try and make sure that you cut at least to the side of it. Just going to cut this off here. Again, you don't have to be too precise. Sharp scissors are a must because that will help you cut it easily. As you can see, it just comes off. Mine are getting a bit sticky now because I've been cutting double-sided tape and foam tape all day. But it really isn't too much of a challenge to just get rid of that. And then you have your stamp ready to use. So quite an easy system. What we're going to do now is get a stamp mat and a piece of card so I can show you these actually working. On the other side of your U-mount, you have another protective cover. This isn't sticky when we remove this, or not sticky to touch, not like your double-sided tape, you couldn't pick it up by touching it. This is sticky as in the sense it will stick onto your rocker blocks, or your stamp presses, or if you've got any of the hinge stamp presses, or clear blocks, whatever it is you stamp with, this is now adhesive to that. And it's completely repositionable, so if you wish to take it off and move them, you can do. Again, they're not sticky for us to touch, so you can still store them in all the same ways you store your ordinary clear stamps. You can wash them in the same way if they do get dusty and stop sticking, which can happen from time to time if you're using a lot of embossing powders or glitters around them. Then you can take them and just wash them off with a wet wipe or some tape, and then you can use them again. So we're just going to stamp this one out just so you can see how crisp and easy these are to work with. Again, we're just going to give it a bit of a push down. And there you have it. One Christmas tree stamp. As promised, isn't it beautiful? It really is a lovely, delicate, crisp, detailed stamp. And so easy to get that to work. And so lovely to have that ability to now produce them time and time again, forever and a day. As many as you want, you can create. Aren't they beautiful? So that is just your standard Christmas tree. That's actually the smaller one. The other one is a bit bigger. So if you do like the look of this Christmas tree, that was from your snow set. Again, only $3.49, and you're getting so many other stamps in there for your money. I really think you've got a tough choice today if you're going to try and pick between these stamps. I have a feeling you just need them all. I know I did, and I've stolen all of them, and nobody's getting them out of me because I just love them. So with that in mind, let's have a little look through and see what you can create with these stamps. And then I promise you we'll come back and do a couple of more bits towards the end of the video, but I'll show you more about that in a minute. Let's look at some of the samples. Today I've reined it in a little bit. I had 16 samples last week and kept you here for hours. Today I have about 11, so hopefully I'll get through these quickly, but show you some ideas of what you can do with them. So card number 1, this is our beautiful Father Christmas, our Santa. This actually comes out of Code Santa sheet of stamps, which is $5.99. As I said to you when we looked at this, I would pay more than that just for him. I think he's beautiful. He's such a gorgeous stamp, so detailed. I've heat embossed mine in gold, and then this one and all of my samples that I've painted them in using distress inks with a paintbrush and with some water. I've been using a lot of our own distress inks, our Eyes Ink inks with these. So if you haven't seen them before, we have a video on our website. If you head on there to the distressing section, you can have a look and actually see us painting with the inks to show you how that works. But it's just simply mixing some water with that style of ink and you've got a lovely paint to work with. On the outside of my lovely Father Christmas, we have our 2 ovals. Now they of course come out of the Snowflake die set, which is $7.99. So you've got the extra large one with a perforated edge and then just the standard flat oval one, which is really lovely to do. Behind him we of course have our poinsettia embossing folder. So that's only $3.99, and as you can see is a really beautiful folder. I've just done mine on cream card. I've then inked it with a yellow and a brown ink. Then I've gone over the top of it with actually rubbing the ink pad over the top to highlight the pattern of the folder. And then I've painted in all of the details and added a bit of glitter over the top of that. The sentiment on the front comes from the Greetings set of stamps, which is only £3.49. So that's code Greetings for if you like the sentiment. Moving on to card number 2. This time we have the bells. Now I said earlier when we looked at the sheet of stamp, I loved the bells stamp. This is one of my favourites out of that set. I don't know if you're going to pick up just how detailed this is. Again, it really is a beautiful stamp with so much detail going on. Again, I've painted it using my distress inks. I've actually stamped my bells onto the outside edge of the star die. So that's just one of the outside large frames from the star die. And behind it we've got the large oval again from the Snowflake set of dies. So they really do come in handy. Behind that we again have the poinsettia frame, the $3.99 embossing folder. So you really, if you do get the whole mega bundle, there's a lot of ways you're going to be able to use this lot together. That's card number 2. Moving on. Oh, while we're here, I'm going to show you this as well, actually. This is a little cheeky sample. I was going to turn this into a card, but I haven't quite got there yet. So I was running out of time a bit today. But I did want to show you the cottage from In the Cottage set of stamps. And it is painted exactly the same, pretty much, as the sample on the cover of the stamps. Except I've added a bit of glitter to mine. But it shows you that these pictures, you really can recreate them if you do like the look of them. If you don't, change the colours, do as you wish. But if you do like the look of them, it really is an achievable design. So don't panic that you're never going to get that look. It is easy to do if you want to do them. Moving on to our next card. So this is the one where we've got our birdhouse on it, but it's a smaller birdhouse. If you remember, I showed you our big birdhouse using our birdhouse set of stamps. This is the smaller design that I'm going to show you at the end of the video today how to make. So if you do want to do a smaller one and pop it on the front of a card, you can do. In with your birdhouse set of stamps, you're also going to get our little robins. Now, one of the nice bits about the robins is that they actually have him facing in both directions. So depending on the style of card you want to make, you might want to add more robins. Or, of course, you could even pop him coming out of the little bird box if you wish to. The greeting on the front here comes out of the greeting set of stamps, which is only £3.49. And I thought that worked quite well with that one. Again, my actual birdhouse has been stamped and heat embossed in gold and then painted in with my distress inks once again. Moving on to our next card, this time we have got the candle. Now the candle comes out of the Santa set of stamps. Now this is one of the larger sheets of stamps, that's one of the $5.99 ones. The one obviously where we've got that beautiful Father Christmas face on it. You're getting the candle down in the bottom corner. And again, hopefully you're going to pick up how detailed this one is. I haven't layered these, but if you wanted to, you certainly could cut and layer them if you wanted to add more detail to them. If you're not worried about postage, again, obviously we could go quite a lot higher with our details, but it is a really impressive stamp. If you are somebody who's worried about postage costs, this is going to give you a really nice effect without having to pile it sky high. The word peace, once again, comes from our greeting set of stamps. You really are getting to see quite a lot of them used on my cards. That really is an essential set of stamps. Moving on, this time I wanted to show you quite an easy card to do. If you wanted to make it more complicated, if you like your painting or your colouring, as I said, I've painted mine, but there's nothing stopping you using other mediums. As I said, I've done mine with distress inks, but you could be doing these with Cosmic Shimmer Shakers, Pixie Powders, alcohol markers. There really is no end to the mediums you could be colouring these images with, especially if you're going to heat emboss them or use Memento maybe as a protective ink that's not going to bleed in a lot of ways. So again, lots of things we could do with them depending on how you use your stamps. This one obviously is our Father Christmas face, which has come out of the Santa set of stamps, $5.99, and then we also have the Holly, which comes out of the Snow set of stamps, which is only $3.49. We've got the large poinsettia, which again comes from the Santa set of stamps, and then down the front here we've got the Happy Christmas, which comes from the Snow set of stamps, and then of course we have our tree die. The tree die, this is one of the first and last times you're going to get to see this. It's only used on a couple of my cards, but I do love it. I think it's beautiful. This is actually using the inner and the outer together to make it as a freestanding die cut, and I've just stuck that to the backs of each of my stepper cards just to give a bit of detail on the top there, a little bit more lacy design work. Hopefully you like that. I thought that worked quite well, and really a lovely die to be working with. Moving on, we have this one. Again, I've kept it quite clean and crisp. If you wanted to paint these bells in like we did on one of the first cards I showed you, you certainly can do. But if you do just want to leave it plain, I wanted to show you how detailed this is. I think sometimes when we paint them in, you can sometimes lose that on a camera, where here you can see just how crisp and detailed that image is. Of course, your bells come out of the sheet bell, which is $5.99, and your piece greeting. I love that greeting. I think that's so impressive. I'd love to be able to write like that myself, but as I can't, we will cheat and we will use these beautiful stamps to give us the look and effect of it. The piece greeting is from the greeting set of stamps, which is $3.49. Moving on to our next card. Now on this one we have the poinsettia. Now this is our big poinsettia, which comes out of the bell sheet of stamps. That's another one of your A4 sheet stamps, which is $5.99. This time I've gone a bit mad. I've layered it up quite a few times. I've stamped and heat embossed it all in gold. I've painted it in again with my inks, and then I've just added a little bit of glitter here and there to it to give it a bit more pizzazz. If you wanted to, again, it is a really lovely stamp to keep flat. You don't have to layer it, but sometimes it's nice to go a bit more wild, isn't it, and layer them up. The warm Winter Wishes stamp here comes from the greeting set of stamps, again only $3.49. You're probably getting that down now, aren't you, that they're only $3.49. They're such a lovely set of stamps. I've used them on so many of my cards, so I do have to keep telling you where they all come from, but I do apologise if I sound like a broken record. This one is a bit of a different one. So on here we have got our really lovely die. That's our star die. Now, as I said to you earlier, that's the one where it's going to cut into it and actually emboss all of that really beautiful snowflakes around the side here. I've then brushed a emboss ink pad around the edge, and I've just heat embossed it in silver. I've also done my stamp in the middle of my snowman, which of course comes from our snow set of stamps, which is $3.49. We also have the outer oval underneath that one, which of course comes from our snowflake set of stamps, which is $7.99. The embossing folder in the background here is our wintry frame. That again is $3.99. This time on the embossing folder itself, you can see I've gone over the top of it with my embossing pad once again, and had some silver embossing powder put over the top and heated. Then I've just stressed over the top of that as well with some ink, just to try and layer it all in together. I've also used my little oval out of my snowflake set of dies and gone around the edge of that one too with some embossing powder. Hopefully you like the look of that one. It's a bit of a big card, that one, but I quite liked playing with them. We then have this. Now I felt that this would make a lovely Christmas tree ornament. You could even pop it on the inside of a card and have it as a sentiment if you wanted to, or a greeting. Or you could attach it on the inside of your card as a way of giving the gift depending on the size card you're doing. Or of course you could make a little box for it as well. So this time we of course have that really lovely die. And then in the middle of it, I've used the actual cutout part from that to cut this in. And then I've got my sentiment going on in here. Now the sentiment comes off of the set of stamps with the cottage. And it also has the little stocking on the back. Now the stocking, I said we could dress up in quite a few ways if we wanted to. That again is something we could add names to if we wanted. Or the date even. And just give us a little bauble or decoration for a Christmas tree if you wanted. Might be quite a nice one to make for a newborn. People make quite a few newborn first Christmas ideas, don't they? Something that we could possibly work on for that. Moving on to my next card. This time we have our winter frame embossing folder. I've done it this time on dark blue card and then I've embossed over the top of it in silver again, and I thought that really helped it pop, and hopefully you'll get to see just how really lovely and delicate that embossing folder is. The snowman stamp from the middle is the one that comes out of the cottage set of stamps. Now, as I said, I have coloured that literally pretty much identically to the way it is on the sheet, so it really isn't difficult. If you do want to follow their colours, you can do. Of course, there's nothing stopping you going off on your own tangents. It doesn't have to be the same if you've got a different colour scheme you like. The word peace is once again from our greeting stamps, which is just $3.49. On to our next card. Now this one I really wanted to just do quite a plain and simple card to show you just really how beautiful the tree is itself, but of course show you that not all cards have to take forever. So this time we've got the tree from the snow set of stamps, that's only $3.49, and our wording, our joy and wonder, is from the greeting set of stamps, which is $3.49. On to our very last card of the day. So this one's all about the dies really, and I got asked this week if we'd done any white work Christmas cards recently, and I couldn't actually remember the last time I did an all white Christmas card, and I thought, well, with today's dies these really do lend themselves for doing that perfectly. So of course if you don't want everything in the bundle, you can just buy the dies separately if this is more your cup of tea. We of course have the ovals on the outside from the snowflake set, which is $7.99. We have the inner part going on in here. This is the bit where it's just embossed onto that underlayer of our oval. That's from our star die, which is $6.49. And then sneakily hidden under here, this is actually the tree die. But if you cover enough of it up, it just looks like a nice sort of filigree part to come out from underneath your ovals. Again, one that could work really well other landscapes as I have, or as a portrait, depending on what you're popping in the middle there. And of course our tree die is only $4.49. In the background we also have our embossing folder, which is the wintry frame, which is only $3.99. So quite a little combination there of your embossing folders and dies, showing you how you could layer all of them up if you like the idea of doing white work cards. So quick run through of all your different products and your offers, and then I'll let you be. So we of course have your mega bundle. We'll start with your mega bundle. This is everything you need basically other than your U-mount. So you've got your two A4-ish stamps, you've got all of your smaller A5 stamps, then you've got your embossing folders and your dies. That's worth $127.99, yours for just £45. We then have your U-mount offer. If you do want the U-mount to go with the stamps, you can buy just 4 sheets of U-mount worth £11.96 for just £10. If you do wish to buy U-mount on its own, you can buy just 1 sheet using code MOUNT for just $2.99. Your embossing folders, we have the poinsettia frame, which should be $4.99, reduced to just $3.99. Your wintry frame, which should be $4.99, reduced to just $3.99. And then die-wise, we've got your tree die, code tree, was $8.99, now $4.49. You then have your star one, which I must confess is a bit of a favourite of mine. This is code star, should be $12.99, now only $6.49. We then have your snowflake one with a lovely Let It Snow die. That should be $15.99, now only $7.99. Your A4 stamps, we have Santa, which should be $19.99, now only $5.99. We have your Bell set of stamps, which should be $19.99, is now only $5.99. Onto the smaller size stamps, we have the Birdhouse stamp set, which I'm going to show you how to make that in just a moment. But that should be $9.99, now only $3.49. We then have your cottage set of stamps, again £9.99, now only £3.49. Your snow set of stamps, which should be £9.99, now £3.49. And of course your greetings, the very essential greetings, should be £9.99, now only £3.49. Now by now your head is probably spinning and you don't know what you should do. Should you go for some individuals or should you buy the mega bundle? I can tell you quite safely you should buy the mega bundle. That's not something you're going to regret. The value for money in that is just astronomical, isn't it? You're literally saving over £80. You're saving more than you're spending. This is how I always justify my shopping. If I'm saving more than I'm spending, that's got to be a good deal, hasn't it? So, let's chat to you about your birdhouse, because as I said, I do want to explain to you how easy these are to build. I have a feeling this is something that's going to prove quite popular. There's so many things we can do with these. I'm actually quite in love with this. I have a feeling that I would really like to make loads of them as baubles for a tree, which of course on your instructions it shows you can do. On here they've actually added threads coming out of the base of it and a little hanger to the top of it, so if you do want to hang it up on your tree you can do. I actually quite like the idea of using them as place settings for my Christmas dinner, or you could leave one side open and use them as a little gift box if you wanted to. Imagine the little presents you could put in there. Or if you did want to leave one of the sides of the roof open, you could use them as an advent calendar. Imagine buying a small Christmas tree, decorating all of these on there. You could even put your numbers on the bases of them if you wanted to, or elsewhere, attach them to the front or on the string and turn it into a big 3D advent calendar tree if you wanted to. So many options. Or, like my card, we can make them slightly smaller and actually pop them onto the front of a card. So, let's show you how we do this, shall we? I've already cheated because I don't want to keep you here forever. You don't want you watching me stamp and emboss and all that lot for a while. So I've already done all of the elements. These are the pieces we need. I've cut them out. I've scored against the lines so that you can see that they're already done. All of these are in your one set of stamps. So this is your birdhouse set of stamps. This makes up your front and the back of your birdhouse. We then have your roof and the side panels to give you an idea of what you're actually getting. So the best way to start is to fold under this bit. This is actually the bottom of your box. This is the part that's going to go up to your roof. And then we need to take your front panel. I've already cut the bit out for the bird to go in. And I've attached a barbecue skewer to go through to make my little post on the front. I'm now going to put some glue down this side. Now, of course, you can use any sort of glue. I'm quite impatient and I want to show you this made quite quickly. So I'm going to use a glue gun just so I can move on from element to element quite quick. But we just glue that onto that side. Underneath here, actually already on here, you've got this little tab for you to glue onto the inside of your base. So we're going to do that as well as we're here and stick that down. We're then going to take the other side to our birdhouse, the back of your birdhouse, and we're going to repeat that on this side of it. So let's take some glue and stick that down. Pop that on there. I'm hoping by now you've got lots of ideas what you're going to do with these. If you have, we want to know about them. Not only can you pop in the comments on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and tell us what you're doing, or Twitter. We really are pretty much everywhere nowadays. You can do that on any of them, or we have last week, we announced this on our last week's video, we've now made a new group on Facebook as well, which is just there for you to share whatever you make with our Sunday Showcase products. So it doesn't matter if you're looking at this week's products or ones from years back. Anything you've made using our Sunday Showcase products, we would love to see it. So I will link that group in the description on Facebook and YouTube so that you can go on and find that. And if you want to, you can actually like our group so you get told of all of the different posts that come up on there. So I'm now going to use some more glue. I'm going to pop the base. We're going to double this. So we're going to use the base that we already had on there. We're going to use the base from the neck side and stick that over the top of that as well. And then we're going to bring these sides up and seal that in. So hopefully I'm doing this quick enough for you and hopefully I'm making sense. Bring that up, seal them in. So we now have a solid birdhouse base. Now all we have to worry about now is the actual roof. So we could glue them in. If you were doing it, I would recommend you glue them on, but I don't want to keep you waiting for that bit. So we now have our roof piece. Now the roof piece starts off with this extra flap, but you don't need that on both sides, you only want it on one. So I've cut it off of the other one. We're now going to attach some glue to that and join our roof over. And then all we do from there is add some glue coming up these side flaps and attach our roof. And that is your birdhouse created. Obviously this one I've kept just white, but you could of course colour these however you want to. You could stamp them in different colours. There really is no end to the ways you could create your birdhouses. As I said while we were talking about it at the beginning, if you wanted to, you could just glue one side of your roof and leave this side hinged so you could attach different bits inside there, or put presents in there, or use it as an advent calendar, whatever you wish to. There really is no end to the uses for our little birdhouse. If you don't want a big 3D one, then of course you can make a smaller one. So this time I haven't stamped it and heat embossed it, I've just stamped it, and this time I've done it just in green memento. So same as last time, I've cut these out, I've already scored them for us so you can see what we're going to do. I've cut the hole out for the bird, I've popped the little stick in here. So very much the same as what we did last time, but you may have already noticed we've lost the sides because we want this to be thinner and we want it to go on the front of a card. We don't need the bulky sides to pad it out. So this time we're going to cut the bases down ever so slightly. Now you would measure this a bit better, but we're just going to do this quite quickly for you. So you're going to cut them off. We're going to attach glue down the side, and instead of using the side panel, we're just going to glue this onto the next part of it. So you can probably see where this is going already. We're then going to wrap that one round and glue onto the side of this one too, so that we're getting there. Again, this box could be used for quite a few things. It doesn't have to be made as a solid. And then you can glue the base down as well. You could even add another base onto the bottom of that if you wish to fill in the gaps, but I didn't personally, but you can if you want. Then the roof part to this, it's up to you how far you want the roof to overhang the front of your birdhouse, so however deep you want it to be. I've only done one side of it because, as you can see, if we actually put it on in place, it would make it far too big. So pretty much I've gone for the guide of using the second diamond, and we're going to just roughly cut up here to go beside that diamond. And then on the other side, we're going to do the same again. Again, if you're going to do this at home, measure it a bit better than I am. By eye isn't always necessarily good with me. Now, again, you've got the two bits at the top here, the flaps for both sides, but we're going to double this over so we can cut one of them off of one of the sides, and we can add some glue to the other one, and we're going to attach that on over there to make our actual roof part. Once again, all we need to do is glue that actually onto the top of our birdhouse, and we have made a relatively small birdhouse if you wish to pop it onto the front of your card. And that is how I've ended up with my one on here. Once again, I did this in gold embossing powder and painted it in, but it really up to you how you wish to decorate them. I actually quite like the gold and white, and of course we could glitter these up if you wanted to. There really is no end to what you could do with them. There's nothing even stopping you, to be honest, if you wish to, on stamping them using stays-on acetate and making them quite transparent, or maybe just odd panels transparent if you wanted to, and then you get that take on a whole new idea, wouldn't it? So hopefully you like the look of this. Hopefully you're going to get a few of the bits from this week's showcase. And if you do, as I said, we really would love to see what you make being posted into our card making group on Facebook just for them. It's called Sunday Showcase Shares. So if you do search for it, you want Craftmania Sunday Showcase Shares. Quickly, just a reminder, you can order all of the products I've shown you today either on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, just by telling us the codes of the items you want. You can also give us a call during our opening hours and you can talk to us over the phone. Or we also have a text number that you can text us 24/7 telling us the items you would like. Or, of course, you can order them online. We have our own website. Everything I've shown you today will be on the website. If you do live in the UK and you wish to have the items posted to you, if you spend over £35, which of course your mega bundle is, you will receive free P&P. If you spend less than £35, P&P is just one flat rate of £2.75. If you live anywhere else in the world, don't worry, we will send it to you. We literally ship worldwide. Currently, America, New Zealand and Australia are all pretty tied on our best locations to post to, but we can post literally anywhere in the world. Check out our frequently asked questions page on our website, and that will tell you how our international shipping works. All of the projects I've shown you today will be added to our Pinterest page. So if you do like the look of them and you would like to remember them, you can of course pop onto Pinterest and pin any of the ones you like, and then you can go back to them at any time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today. I hope 2 weeks of Christmas isn't too much for you. And I promise next week we'll be back with another new video sharing something new with you again. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Bye-bye.